Gabby Holko joining us from Marywood here in the John Mendola Show. We're talking about the women's basketball program. And Gabby, let's talk about the start of the year. We're early in December, but how are things going so far?
Things are going great, John. First off, thanks for having us on here today. The girls are working extremely hard. We are 2-4 right now, which we've had a lot of close games. Besides one, every game we've lost has been within 6 points. So it's been a good season. We have been working hard. The girls have been putting in work extremely in the gym. I mean, they're getting in the gym on our off days to get shots up. Defensively is a place where we want to get a little bit better at, but offensively we've been being able to put up 80, 70, 60 points. One game this season we had an awful shooting percentage, but that happens, and I explain to the girls all the time, it's a game of runs, and that game was not our game for the run, which we've learned from, and then we came back and we played against Wesleyan, which is a NESCAC school up in Connecticut, and we played them until 6 points, and it was a back and forth game, and it was really great.
Let's talk about your coaching experience. Take us through playing days, coaching days, how it all kind of worked out for you to become the head coach at Marywood University.
Yeah, I grew up inner city Pittsburgh. Great place, love Pittsburgh, but not many opportunities there coaching-wise that were open at the time that I graduated college. I graduated from Westminster College, which is in New Wilmington, Pennsylvania. It's a Division III, and we're in the President's Athletic Conference. I was a 4-year player, letterer at Westminster, 2-year starter my junior and my senior year. Had a fantastic playing career, and I loved every moment at Westminster. The big thing for me is I worked for my coaches as my work-study job, and that really got me to see the ins and the outs of what coaching at the collegiate level was like. And I talked to them about the opportunities that I could have after graduating with a history degree from Westminster, and they said, go the GA route. So I applied to about 70 GAs all over the country, and then Misericordia, right down 81, was the school that gave me my opportunity. And I was a GA there for 2 years. Had a great 2 years there. Misericordia has a special place in my heart. After that, I went closer to home and was a full-time assistant at Allegheny College in good old Meadville, Pennsylvania. It's the snow belt up by Erie. And then after that, last year I was just at Lackawanna College, and we had a successful year, 25-5, and that brought me to Marywood, which I couldn't be happier to be at.
You've been doing that western part of PA, east part of Pennsylvania. You said it kind of feels like home here.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about feeling like, whether it's the women that are involved with the school, the people around you in the coaching ranks, some of the athletic department.
Yeah. As I said to you a little bit earlier, I came out here and everyone was like, why are you going 5 hours away from Western PA? A lot of Western PA people don't like to leave Western PA. And I liked the opportunity that I had, especially at Misericordia. I was getting my graduate degree for free, and I was getting to start collegiate coaching, and that's what that was my end all be all. When I first came out here, it was a little scary, but it was great, and I made a great group of coaching friends, and my basketball crew and my basketball knowledge from this area has been what has kept me in it. Bucci is a great guy. He's somebody that I really have good connections with, and even when I went out to Allegheny, I was always texting him like, hey, do you have any players that want to come out this way to Western PA? Marywood has been home to me. I've been here 6 months now, and everybody that is in that athletic department has really made it feel like home. They're really helpful. Being that this is my first head coaching collegiate experience, it's a little frightening at times, and being able to ask questions, and I'm somebody that's not afraid to ask questions, and having people like Eric Grunman or Andrew Smith and Enrico. I mean, Enrico's been a big help for me in this process, and he's somebody I go down to his office about every day and say, Coach, what do you think about this? And he's like, kid, it's a learning experience, and it's a process, and that's the biggest thing in this first year is with our team that we have a fantastic group of young women, and they're working, like I said, extremely hard, but it's going to be a process. They're learning an entire new system. We're trying to play a fast game, so it's very different from what they have played in the past.
Talk a little bit about your style of coaching, leaning on some coaches that you met. There's certain things that you do want to do, may not want to do. You kind of figure it all out, but ultimately it has to be your show, your personality.
My coaching experience, the biggest thing is I want to play fast. I want to be able to press 40 minutes a game and get our easy transition points so we don't have to set up an offense. Right now we're low numbers. We have 11 but we've been playing with 8 because we've been hit by that injury bug a little bit. And not being able to play that style, we've just had to step back a little bit and just really break it down. And we talk about winning every possession. And the biggest thing with my coaching style is I'm very positive. I'm a people person, and I really enjoy just teaching the game of basketball, and I'm not somebody that's going to scream 110 times. I mean, I'm very big with just talking to the young women and letting them understand, like, this is why we're doing this, or that's why we did that. But a big thing is we want to score a lot of points, and we want to be able to be a defensive team that can make a lot of stops. And I think we've done that so far. I mean, we've been really getting after it on the offensive end of the floor. Defensively, as I said a little bit earlier, we have to work a little bit harder on, and we've been just talking about valuing every possession, and that's the biggest thing with us right now is what we have to fix.
So much to learn, different league. You know, you played with, you know, the Misericordia when they were in the league. Of course, Lackawanna College, and as you mentioned, Allegheny. Now you're in a different league. So what are the expectations in this league?
Yeah. So being in the Middle Atlantic Freedom Conference, I mean, every game is competitive. I mean, every single game, you don't know what's going to come at you, and it's a great league. And the same thing with the NCAC, which Allegheny was in. I mean, the NCAC normally, both men and women, they normally take about 2 to 3 teams to the NCAA playoffs, which it's always stacked. And Lackawanna, you just see a different type of athlete in that JUCO level. You don't know if some teams are going to have some players one game or the next game. It's very different emotionally at that level. But our conference, the Atlantic East Conference, it's going to be great. I think, honestly, it's going to be a very good conference for us, and it's going to be very competitive. I mean, you have Marymount, who their women were preseason ranked 15th in the nation. You have Cabrini, who is always good in the CSAC. You have Gwen and Mercy. You have Newman, Immaculata, and then Wesley down in Delaware. So I think it's going to be really competitive, and I'm really excited to see the other schools that they get into this conference so that we can have our automatic qualifiers and being able to get that AQ, and once we get off of probation, which is 2 years, we'll be able to get into the NCAA playoffs. But I think that our competitiveness in this conference is going to be able to set us up so possibly 2 teams can make it out of the AAC.
Gabby, great to catch up with you and what you're doing at Marywood University. Congratulations, and have success here in 2018-19.
Thank you so much, John.
Natasha Hessling joins us here on the John Mendola Show. We're talking Marywood women's basketball, senior season. Let's talk a little bit about what it's like to get together and one last go-around for you on the court.
Yeah, it's really sad that it's my senior season, but I'm excited. You know, we got a new coach this year, and she brings a lot of energy and, you know, something new, and I'm really excited, and she wants to win, and I know all the girls want to win and make my senior year memorable for her.
Up-tempo is the theme. You got to be in shape. She said, listen, I want these girls to press 40 minutes now. In theory, that sounds okay, but when you're down a few players and you have some injuries, you're like, you're going to be gassed during some of these games.
Yeah, no, coach keeps us in shape, but it is hard sometimes to keep that up.
Let's talk about the team overall this year. What do you have, and what are you going to try to work on? There's always something a team is missing.
Yeah.
So tell us the positives you have, and then what you think you need to work on.
We do really well scoring on offense. All our girls can shoot. We have a lot of three-point shooters, a lot of girls that can drive and step back shots. We have good posts that can work inside and put it up. Some of our defense can use some working on. We're aggressive, but we could work on.
Couple siblings, Nick and Rachel, so tell us about what they're up to.
My brother Nick, he's working back in Homestead. He's out of college now. My sister Rachel just started high school this year. She's a cheerleader for the football team.
Cool. Environmental chemistry, something that you enjoy. Talk about that.
Yeah, well, I want to work for an environmental company once I graduate, so I really enjoy learning about the environment and how to help it.
Doing a heck of a job in the classroom, 3.86.
Thank you.
Talk about college life and how difficult it was for you to adjust. Everybody's different.
Yeah.
Some people say it's easy, some people say it's really hard. You weren't too far from home, but talk about the overall adjustment.
Yeah, it's a lot different. They demand a lot more work-wise, and then playing basketball on top of that, it's hard. It's hard to work the time out to get everything done, but manageable.
Let's talk about mom and dad and why they're your role models.
They've always been hard workers. They've given me everything I could ever ask for and supported me 100%. And they just work really hard to support my family and help out.
All right, Natasha, well, it's great to catch up with you, and we wish you the best going forward.
Thank you.
Araya Unks joining us here on the John Mendola Show. Sophomore year at Marywood. Talk about fitting in with this team. How do you feel like you fit in as a piece of the puzzle?
I think we're all like really close and we work really well together, especially on the court. We have good teamwork and we all like flow really well together, I think.
Coach Holko, young, enthusiastic, wants to run the ball.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about what you need to do for your coach.
Usually I just like to push the ball, and lately I've been running point guard because our starting point guard has been hurt. So I've just been trying to get my teammates the ball and setting up the offense and getting back on defense.
Tell us where home is and what you liked about basketball and life back home.
I'm from Downingtown, Pennsylvania. It's like 10 minutes outside of Westchester. I came from a big high school. I graduated with 500 people in my class. I had a really good high school team. One of the girls on my team went to Quinnipiac, Division I basketball. So we were always pretty good. We made it to district playoffs. We went to Temple for the championship game. So
3.4 grade point average, doing pretty well. You like anatomy. Let's talk about the exercise science field that you're in.
I love it. It's great. I actually want to be a personal trainer on the side, and then I actually want to go to grad school to be an occupational therapist. And my dream is to go to Temple. They have a really good program there.
Mom, dad, a couple role models for you. Talk about why you look up to them.
They're always there for me. My dad especially, he's a great role model. He always comes to my games, he tells me what I do wrong, and he's always there for me. And he helps me over the summer to improve my game.
We'll talk about being on the campus of Marywood University. Kind of quiet. I'm sure you and the ladies maybe head out to have some fun sometimes, but ultimately it's academics and it's athletics.
Yeah.
But if you can find a little nook or cranny to get some fun in, I'm sure you do it.
Oh yeah, it's a small campus and everyone knows each other, so I actually like that, and it's small class size, and yeah, I think it's a good school. I love it.
Awesome. Well, we wish you continued success, and go get them.
Thank you so much.
Morgan Shamrow joining us here on the John Mendola Show. We're talking Marywood women's basketball. Morgan, talk about how you fit in with this team.
Well, quite honestly, everyone fits in really well. We all, off the court, on the court, we're always joking around with each other. Obviously on the court, we're serious, play ball, be there. But off the court, we have a good time.
Talk about where you call home and what basketball was like back there.
I'm from Neversink, New York. I went to Tri-Valley High School. Basketball there was my whole life. I was a three-sport athlete, but playing there with the group of friends, I have a family there, and I'll always be able to return there with a family.
What is it about this team this year that you really like? Is it the ability to run the basketball? Feel like you have some good offensive scoring opportunities?
I think all around we each have our little niches that build us into a great team.
About Coach Holko, talk about her style. It's let's go get it. Let's go run a little bit.
Yeah, she's great. She's really intense, and I thrive off that. I like her always pushing us to be better. I really enjoy that.
Let's talk about your sister Macy.
Yeah, my sister Macy's 15. She's a sophomore in high school. She's a cross-country runner, big cross-country runner. She actually went to states last year for cross-country.
Pretty cool. Psychology and English, a couple subjects that you enjoy. Let's talk about the major down the road here. What are we going for at Marywood?
At Marywood, I'm majoring in clinical psychology. I want to be a clinical psychologist and work in high schools.
Good for you. That sounds like a pretty big challenge. How about your mom and dad? Talk about your relationship there.
My mom and dad and I are really close. They're always pushing me to be better, making me work harder in everything I do, and I wouldn't be where I am today without them.
And hanging out with the girls when you're not playing basketball or studying, any fun things that you're able to do together?
We've gone bowling a few times, and we also do team dinners often.
All right, Morgan, well, great to catch up with you and have success.
Thank you.